We're here on this beautiful Friday morning, Erev Shabbat Kodesh. When the Torah refers to an intelligent person, it refers to him as a Chacham Lev. Chacham Lev, Mudri Sertzam, smart of heart. Why do you refer to somebody as a Chacham Lev? So one of the explanations is that, you see, Shlomo HaMelech says that the beginning of wisdom is Yirat Hashem. Reshit Chokhmah, Yirat Hashem. You need to have wisdom of Hashem, fear of Hashem, and only afterwards you can have something that's called true wisdom. Why? Because contrary to all other wisdoms, the Torah says it's not enough for you to have information. You can have a person that in his mind he has a lot of information, and yet the Torah says that doesn't make you a wise person. In order to be a wise person, you have to be a Chacham Lev, smart of heart. Why smart of heart? You have many intelligent people amongst the Goyim that on the outside they look, wow, intelligent, civilizovani, sophisticated, beautiful. But behind closed doors, what happens to that intelligence? He doesn't behave so much like a person anymore. He doesn't have so much intelligence anymore. Why? There's a disconnect between the upper 3 sefirot and the lower 7. See, we have 10 body parts, Kabbalistically, right? 3 upper faculties, they're called Chokhmah, Binah, and Dat. And then you have these 7 lower faculties, beginning with your right hand, going all the way to the Ateret HaYesod, to the crown of the Brit Milah. I don't know if I should have translated it. But Lema'aseh, there has to be, your wisdom has to manifest. You see, Chokhmah is a general collection of information. Yes? Binah is when you're able to take that explanation, meaning that information, and you're able to be mevin davar mitoch davar. You can understand if A, then B. If C, then D. You can extrapolate. You can translate it. Yes, it's equal something. You're able to take it down another level, right? And then you have something called da'at. Da'at in the Kabbalistic books, it's called nishmeta devak, whatever that means. I shouldn't say that, but it's the neshama of the 7 lower faculties. That means this dot is what represents, meaning how I behave. Why? Because again, I can have a lot of intellect in my mind. Be a good person. Don't talk back to your parents. Don't disrespect your siblings. Don't hurt your wife's feelings. That's all in the chokhmah. But does it translate from here to here? Or does it translate from here to action or not? By the goyim, if you're wise, that's all that matters. By the Torah, being wise, it's not even half the equation. Sof davar kol nishma et ha'elohim yir'ah ve'et mitzvotav shemor. After a person dies, says Shlomo HaMelech, when you sum everything up, the only thing that matters is, did you fear Hashem? Did you keep His mitzvot? Did you guard His mitzvot? Did you manifest what you needed to manifest? Or you lived, I know what's right, I know what's wrong, and yet I don't practice what's right, I don't practice what's wrong. And unfortunately, many people live that way. Many people, you can talk to them, Rabbi, I know this already, so why don't you do it? That's another sugya. Why I don't do it's another sugya. There's a problem in the transmission from the mind to the body. And that's where Yitro excelled. Yitro, when something came into his mind, when he knew something was true, something was emet, he got up and he did it. It wasn't, I'm going to procrastinate. Yitro knew, I have to be a Shomer Shabbat. It's not just I know, it's I'm going to do it. Yitro knew, I have to honor my parents. It's not just I know, a nice thought. It's I have to do it. Yitro knew, I have to control my desires, the heart. It's the house of all of the desires that a person has. Everything that you desire comes from the heart. You know, in certain languages, they say, what should I do? Dilam barav, my heart wants it. Right? The Torah says, you're right, the heart wants it. But your chokhmah has to control your heart. Because if your heart controls your chokhmah, you're not considered a chacham. You're not considered a wise person. Wisdom is only when you're able to control yourself, when you're able to apply what you have learned. Yeah, you say lo taturu. It's not enough just to know. One guy tells me, I saw somebody somewhere that they weren't supposed to be with somebody they weren't supposed to be next to. Uh-oh. Yeah, that's very bad. And then you ask yourself, why does the person behave this way? Does he not know it's wrong? Of course they know it's wrong. What's the question? You have another guy who's not honest. Does he not know it's wrong? Of course he knows. And yet he's not able to do it. Why? There's a disconnect between the mind and the heart. Says Yitro, I know it's true. Ki badavar asher zadu. He gets up and he goes to the desert. Why? Because that's the right thing to do. It's not enough to say my heart is clean. It's not enough to say I have the idea. No, you gotta get up and you gotta do it.
Afterward, he practiced. He left Moshe.
What? Afterwards, he went back to be Megayed his whole family, to bring his whole family to Torah. That was Yitro. It was not enough for him to keep it himself. He said, I'm going to bring all of my children. To what? To practice also. But you have to be very careful when you bring your children. That's a very delicate subject. You see, parents, they love their children so much that they sometimes hold them too tight. What does that mean, they hold them too tight? They choke them. And when you choke somebody, in the end, you end up killing it. When you take a bird and you hold it too tight, you kill it. If you don't hold it tight enough, it flies away.
So you're not supposed to push to...
You're supposed to push. You're Vadai supposed to. But it has to be done with calculated and in a clever way. If a person sees that his approach that he's taking now isn't working, it doesn't mean you have to apply more pressure. That doesn't necessarily give you the results you want. It means you have to change up your tactic. You got to change up your strategy. You got to speak the child's language. And a lot of it's preparation. A lot of it's shelo b'shat ma'aseh. When my child is messing up now, and I rebuke him now, that doesn't fix the problem. I'll give you an example. It's 7:30 in the morning, and I tell my son Israel, let's go to shul. I'm tired. Let's go. What's wrong? Whole story. Why are you lazy? That's very bad. Why? B'shat ma'aseh, when the thing is going down, and you're sitting and roasting that child, most times it has detrimental results. Chacham has to know, you talk to your child Tuesday. Talk to him Thursday. You got to talk to him when it's not applicable yet. You got to get it ingrained in his mind. You got to prepare him already. In the morning, say, tonight I would like to go to synagogue with you, my son. Tomorrow morning I'd like to take you to Beit Knesset. You're such a good boy. I'm so proud of you. I want you to come, Bezrat Hashem, to the Beit Knesset to get inspired. Maybe you'll hear Divrei Torah. But the point is that there has to be a strategy. Yitro went to be Megayed his whole family. But what was unique about Yitro? That Yitro was able to get up and to practice. And now Yitro comes, and he's giving advice to Moshe Rabbeinu. What's the advice? He's saying, Moshe, you're judging the people alone. Mata say, what are you doing? He says, what do you mean? I'm sitting. The nations, Omed, they stand the whole day and they come one by one. This guy's problem with his neighbor, this guy's problem with this neighbor, this guy's problem with his wife, this guy's problem with their husband. Everyone has problems. They come to me, Lidrosh et Elokim, and I tell them, this is right, this is wrong, this is right, this is what Hashem said. He says, hello, you cannot manage a nation alone. It's impossible. You cannot run a nation alone. You need to have people who are with you. Anshe Hail. You need to have men of valor. He says, if you listen to me, then you're going to be successful. He says to Moshe.
Moshe's so smart, he couldn't figure out this by himself.
Moshe, it's not that he couldn't figure out.
Or God didn't advise him?
Yeah.
No. He was there and he was masur to the people. He was giving and dedicated to the people. I'm ready to help the people. And all day he felt it was okay to dedicate his time to the people. Says Yitro, you don't build a nation this way. You need to have continuity. You need to prepare the next generation for what? That somebody's going to be able to take over. So he says to him, and if you accept my advice, eventually it's going to get good, says Rashi. Why? Because everything in the beginning is difficult. Kol ha'atchalot kashot. Whatever you do in Judaism, when you start, it's difficult. Whatever you're doing, if it's easy, don't do it. Why? It means it's not 100% for HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Most times when it's easy, it's not 100%. When it's difficult, you have opposition. For example, I was coming here this morning and I saw that I was getting a little opposition. This is getting held back, that's getting held back. I got stuck behind the school bus. I said for sure in the Beit Knesset today is going to be a nice crowd. I came, there was a nice crowd in the morning. The point is that there has to be opposition. When there's no opposition, yesterday for example, I flew out of my house, I came here in a minute and a half. No problem. I come inside, there's not one person in the room, they were all still downstairs praying Shaharit. No opposition. Why? When there's opposition, it's a siman you're doing something right. It's a siman that you're doing, that you're on the right track. Says Yitro, if you take my advice, eventually it's going to get good. Why eventually? Because good things take time. If it's too easy, it's not good. I'll tell you guys a story. I hope the battery doesn't die. Rabbi Khaimov, he comes to the Vilna Gaon and he tells him, Rabbi, I would like to, he's excited, he says, I want to open a yeshiva. What do you think? I want to open this yeshiva. Wow. The Vilna Gaon says, no, don't do it. He says, why? Okay, fine. Hazak Baruch. Doesn't ask why. He says, okay, fine, I accept. A few weeks later, he comes back to the Vilna Gaon. He says, Rav, I want to open a yeshiva. What do you think? He says, yeah, you know what? It's a good idea. Open a yeshiva. He says, I don't understand something. Last week, a few weeks ago when I came, he said, don't do it. Now you're coming and you say to do it. What's the difference, Natan? He says, the difference is 3 weeks ago, you were so excited to open a yeshiva. I said there's no way he's going to do something so holy and he's so excited and there's nothing that's preventing him. No such thing. If nothing is preventing him, it shows the Yetzer Hara is a partner somewhere, somehow. He's included over here. Yeah? He says, but when you came after a few weeks, you're already like, Rabbi, I want to open yeshiva. You're more serious. Now you thought about it. Now you're already having opposition. Should I not? Now you want to still open it. That's a siman. It's a Yetzer Tov.
Rabbi, why don't you look a different way? Maybe Hashem helps you. That's why it's easy for you.
There's no such thing as something holy being easy. In the beginning. Kol hatchalot kashot. In the beginning, it has to be hard. It has to be difficult. If it's easy, it's not good. The easy way is usually not the good way. Usually, after many years, then it becomes easy. Then Hashem says, oh, tu you got to this stature. Now I'm going to make your life a beracha. You're going to live. In the beginning, it's always difficult. It's hard work. There's no such thing. I'll tell you a story. They once...
Даже сейчас, вы говорите, я пришел, there is no opposition. You're not the beginner.
What?
No, to come to Beit Knesset.
Yeah, when you're not a beginner, usually that's it. The opposition goes away.
So now there's not supposed to be
That's
opposition.
true, but still, a lot of times you'll have one or two new. You'll have one or two new guys at the lecture that day, and Yetzer Hara, he puts opposition. He's always trying to block your wheels. Yeah, he doesn't want you to get there. He doesn't want you to make a difference, etc. So you have to be mit'ametz and not to give up. When you have opposition, you know when there's.
You like a doctor.
Yeah.
You know when the doctor gives a result to a patient, they don't consider that it might be a miracle или туда-сюда. So you know if you came today, there's no opposition. Вы уже в вашей голове говорите, it's not going to be like
no.
Yeah,
I don't know, but
when there's opposition, I know it's going to be a good crowd.
I know it's going to be a good crowd. I know, vadai, because when it's unusual opposition, that means something is there. Why is this opposition all of a sudden? I'm going to give a class at Shiur Torah. It must be that somebody's trying to prevent me because I'm going to do something right. Yes? Why? That's HaKadosh Baruch Hu wanted it so. Why? He wanted you to be even stronger so he could give you even more credit. When things are easy come, easy go. It doesn't mean anything. But when it's difficult for you, yes? I'll give you an example. You say, you know what? Today I want to go to this Bet Midrash to learn Torah. Yeah? You get in the car, you drive, you're about to drive, and what do you say to yourself? You know, I don't want to go there. Everyone's going to ask me, what are you doing here? What, you're not working, etc. You know what? I'll go next time. You go back home. Why? What happened? You got in the car already. Go. Now Yetzer Hara grows with you. He became even stronger. He discouraged you from going. You go to Bet Knesset, you're driving. Like, it's 8:30. Well, why am I going already? Everyone's going to look at me funny. Why is this guy coming late? You know what? I'll go tomorrow. You're already in the car. Just go already. He doesn't want to go. Why? The Yetzer Hara got stronger. Now he's giving him. But when you feel that thought of, no, don't do it, that's when you have to say, I'm going to do it. That's when he said, no, I'm going to do it. It doesn't mean I have to quit. I'm going to do it today, not tomorrow. Today I'm going to do it. Why? You got to do it today. You know, there's a story. They were collecting money. They came and said that 2 Jewish men were kidnapped and they need $1 million ransom. And if you don't give the ransom within 4 hours, they're going to kill them. The rabbi said, okay, go collect. They went to collect. Within 2.5 hours, they called the rabbi. We have good news. We got all the money. The rabbi said, okay. He says, don't give them any money. When you go over there, take out 2 sticks and start hitting the 2 guys that they're holding ransom. Start hitting them.
Jewish people?
Yeah, they thought they were Jewish. They started hitting them. All of a sudden, it comes out they weren't even Jewish. Comes out they weren't even Jewish. They were dressed them like Jews to make them do whatever. They said to the rabbi, how did you know the whole thing was a charade? He says, it's impossible that you were doing something so holy, one of the biggest mitzvot, to redeem somebody from captivity, and it just came so easy. And within 2 hours, boom, you raised it. How's that possible? Usually there's opposition. Yeah? When people are throwing money at an organization, just take it. Look into that organization. See, look, are they really doing what they're doing? Is it really such a good organization? But when you come, Rabotai, we need help. $18, but you're barely raising. Then look into that organization. You can see that maybe there's a lot of beracha because the Yetzer Hara doesn't let people give to good places. To crazy, whatever. Okay, question to be 500, 5,000. To good causes, a place of Torah, Yirat Shamayim over there. Ready? I'll give $10. Yeah, that's how he's gonna give. So the idea is that opposition many times is there, and it's a siman that you're doing something right. Yitro went against all of the opposition. He had all of the excuses. He gets up and says, I want to be a Yehudi. And so too we. When we serve Hashem and it's difficult, you get reward 100 times more than when it's easy. You get up in the morning, you're refreshed. Okay, let's go synagogue. Nobody's bothering you. Everybody's beseder. You get reward. It's no problem. But slojna, and you still come to the synagogue. Wow, Hashem says, unbelievable. Look at this guy. Yeah, that he's able to continue and to be strong, and he's going against himself, he's going against the Yetzer Hara, and his reward is going to be many, many, many times full. Shabbat Shalom.